every day. Today we're going to go over a little bit about design language and kind of how I practice how to do design language. I did talk about an exercise I do with, creating silhouettes of different types. Today I'm going to talk about just kind of like creating different forms I do for like mechanical gears for, like shoulder pads, things of that sort, like bags. Like when you're creating a character, you're creating a very certain type of design language. Design language, let me explain, would be, for example, if you have like, let's say you have like a shoulder pad or something like that, and it has like a particular stripe through it, like particular round, it has like a round form to that. First of all, it's entirely round pad, as opposed to entirely, let's say rectangular, angular, spiked, spiked at the end. The overall form of it has to do with its design language. So if you have like a really boxy, let's say shoulder pad, something like that, I'm just like, spitballing. If you have a really boxy shoulder pad, you're not going to put like a shin pad or something, or an elbow pad or a knee pad or whatever, and you're not going to put that as a round, bubbly, you know what I mean, knee pad with that shoulder pad. You can in certain cases where there is some sort of contrast, but normally you don't do that. You want to make it look like it was all developed in the same area, unless that doesn't fit with your story. If your story is kind of this Mad Max universe where people are just grabbing assorted things and sticking them together, that's one thing. But if you are doing like a mechanical soldier who was built within, like his the parts that he was made up of were built within one particular company, they're representing one particular faction, you want them to have the exact same form language as well. Design language, form language, whatever you may call it. I'll call it design language for this. So, like, mostly round, be round, like things of that sort. If you look at things like, for example, in real life, when you look at things that are like Mac, have you noticed Mac has a very specific design language? It's very, everything's round. They try to get rid of any of the seals. You can't really see where things open as well, like a lot of the screws or that. You can't really see a lot of that normally. They'll hide that stuff. It's kind of hard to open their stuff. You got to go to the store for it. But normally that's their design language. They make it look pretty and sleek, and they use this like very clear white color all the time or something. And like I said, you cannot see the parts that construct it sometimes, like the screws. So that would be an example of design language. So what I do normally for an exercise, like for example, if I'm doing armor, if I'm doing anything like that, at least it helps me with that. I create and grab any pen, by the way. It doesn't matter what pen you use, okay? Pen or pencil. Mostly pen, though. It's a lot easier with pen, I think. You can see it more. But you can do it with pencil if you want. But I feel like pen forces you to think more because you can't erase it. What I start doing with pen is I start creating just assorted shapes. Just completely random assorted shapes. I could think of them as something, or I don't have to. I could see something like that. That could maybe be like a part of a shoulder pad here. And it's nothing that you have to even use really. We're coming up with random shapes and try to make them non-organic. Try to think of them as like, oh, this is a pad. This is an anchor for something. This is I don't know, some sort of trigger point. And try to mix them with large shapes with small shapes. And just kind of do that. Do this with the entire page. It's incredibly fun, and you're going to find that you're going to create shapes that you might use in your drawing later. You're going to create an intuition for this stuff. You can look at stuff too as well. I encourage you to look at Real Machinery and kind of look at the design language that uses, because then when you kind of internalize that design, that form language, you will start to do that stuff within your, like, fantasy sketches, and you're gonna find that your stuff's gonna look more real too. Like your made up stuff is gonna look more real. You get a little nutty with it. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I did a page of that. You can do that yourself. It's really easy. It's really, really fun. Like I said, I suggest using pen. Pencil, I don't know, it feels like you're going to feel like you want to erase in pencil. Don't do that. In pen, you don't have to do that. Yeah, really fun exercise. Just create different like mechanical shapes of that sort, and you're going to find your design language go up. It'll become more intuitive. Like I said, also look at stuff you like. A lot of this stuff would be stuff that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking like a fan. I'm thinking like of a shoulder plate. I'm thinking of, all kinds of things. Obviously, this is just a small bit. It's just the tip of the iceberg. You can do this a lot as like a warm-up, and it will help you a lot. And this is part of ideation sketching, which I will talk about another time. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. If you did like the video, please like it, share it, and I will see you next time. Laters.